ladies, and welcome back to Swamp Witch Knits podcast. My name is Emily and I am coming to you from my house in Pensacola, Florida. This angel is Isabel, who you can kind of see. She's my sweet old lady border collie, and you saw a little snout on that side of the frame. That was Fiona. You might hear my German Shepherd Gunther in the background. We've got a full house here today. So let's just dive right in. I am really excited to be back. I took several months away and I am just refreshed, excited to share some of my knitting projects with you guys. I went away to train for a marathon, which I just ran like 3 days ago. So I'm having a lot of trouble moving around still. Probably gonna be difficult to stand up from sitting on the couch right now. It's rough. But I trained for about 18 weeks and I ran 6 days a week. I ran these long runs on Saturday really early in the morning because it is so hot in Florida, and it all kind of came together this past Sunday. I ran the Mad Marathon in Waitsfield, Vermont, and it was just like, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, to be honest. Or not the hardest, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, for sure. I wanted to rage quit in the middle. I actually called my parents at like almost mile 16, and I called them and I was like, just come pick me up, I'm done. And I texted my coach and I said, I can't finish this. I'm done. I can't finish. And he sent me a message and he said, the bad feelings come and go. Just try to walk a little bit. You're going to be okay. And I had been kind of standing in the shade. I had some water and got that message from him. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try to walk. I'm not promising I'm gonna run anymore, but I can at least walk. And I started to feel better after a couple yards, so I was like, okay, fine. So I kept running and took a lot more walk breaks after that. No shame in walking in these long races, you guys. I come from a track and field background, and I ran in college, and I was very competitive and intense, and I never would have dreamed of walking in a race. That would be like, you wouldn't even be racing at that point. You're walking. But I think that this journey, this training, this marathon training, I'd never done one before, and I think it's been really humbling. It's so different than any running I've ever done before, and I think it's been really, really good for me. I think getting to a place where I can accept and give myself grace for taking a break, and in the middle of a race taking a break, standing to take a break and drink water and walk for a little bit, and be kind to my body in that way, and know that the goal at that point, like, I had all these lofty goals for, I want to get this time, I want to get, blah, 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 blah. If I have a great day, I'll try to qualify for Boston. And then I was totally humbled by not only the distance, but the terrain. It was so mountainous. I ended up, it was in the farmland, and like, I call them mountains. I guess they would call them hills there, but there were some steep climbs, and I all in all climbed over 2,000 feet along that 26.2 miles. So it was, I got to the point probably halfway through where I said, I just need to get to the finish line. It does not matter what the time is. And yeah, so, and it was obviously quite a lot slower than I, had gone in hoping for, but I truly am just very proud of actually finishing it. I think it's a pretty cool achievement. Will I run another one? I don't know, but that's where I have been. I've just been putting all of my heart and my time and my energy into preparing for that race. And now I feel like I have all this time. So I woke up today and I was like, what do I do with myself? So I am excited to be back and to be sharing another one of my loves, which is crafting and knitting and making things with, anyway, with you guys. So let's just jump right in. My finished object that I'm really proud of is my Barnsley sweater. All done, all completed. And I love this thing. It's really great. It fits really well. I don't remember if I shared this with you guys last time, to be honest with you. But it's super duper duper warm. It's all over texture. Obsessed with it. Really warm. I wore it to work a few times after I finished it this winter, and it held up really well to the dog hair, to claws. I'm a veterinarian, so my clothes get a lot of wear. Like literal, like they just get wear and tear. Literal tear. Speaking of literal tear, let's talk about a really sad thing that happened. This is my Elton cardigan, which I love. It's my favorite sweater I've ever knit. And far and away the sweater I get the most wear out of. It is the perfect weight. It is sheer, it is warm, it is lightweight, it is not too warm, you get plenty of airflow. I can wear it here in Florida in the air conditioning, and I am obsessed with it. And it's actually like the silk mohair is actually quite strong. However, it's not strong enough to, oh no. Okay, well, apparently there are two things I need to mend on this now. So this. But then also, it is not strong enough to hold up to a very, very angry kitty cat. So I always take a risk when I wear this to work. I know that. And I'm like, I think I want to say it was even that day I was wearing it in the car, and I thought like, wow, I'm really amazed that this thing hasn't gotten any holes in it yet, because I wear it all the time to work. And I obviously like have to handle things with very sharp points coming out of their feet. And this kitty cat was pretty mad, understandably so. She was at the doctor. No one like super likes to be at the doctor, and I was also like picking her up, which she didn't appreciate. So she thought that she would like springboard off of my body to like, I don't know, try to kill my assistant or something. But one of her claws just caught in there and made a big old hole. So yeah, I need to figure out how to fix this bad boy. I want to say it's like 7 rows, or no, it's like 4 rows across and 7 columns. And I've never had to fix a hole this big. I've never had to darn a hole this big in knitting, and I'm just nervous to fix it with this mohair too. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up some videos, but from what I've seen so far is that I saw one video where people put threads, like threads that aren't gonna stay in, but like a different color thread through each column that you're needing to fix all the way down. And then they use that as like a, I don't know if that's the warp or the weft in knitting or in weaving. I'm sorry, I'm not a weaver, but they use it as either the warp or the weft to like weave around each stitch. And I think I'm gonna try that. I have to look the video up again, but I was happy to see that there's a way to, of course there's a way to do it, but it's one of those things where you panic and you're all upset. And I think for me, when something happens that upsets me, what makes me feel better is coming up with a plan and like having that plan. Like, okay, I just know that I need to do these series of actions, and then like it'll be okay. I find a lot of comfort in that. And like, I think part of like when things upset me is that like there's uncertainty. I don't know if it's going to be okay. I don't know if there's a way to like fix the problem. But my way of dealing with things that happen, things that are, you know, upsetting is to, you know, come up with like, okay, what do I do to fix it? And when I kind of saw that there was an approach that I thought that I could do, it made me feel better about this. So yeah, anyway, sorry to get so deep into like my psyche, but I don't know if you guys are like that too, but yeah, just, it's been sitting though in my closet for probably like 2 months, because I'm also the type of person that if I have never done something before, I'm not sure how to, it's really hard for me to start. And I get like super, super intimidated by like, by doing it. And it's even like small tasks. It's like, I have to pay like a $1 toll to go onto the bridge, or to go onto the beach, the bridge to get to the beach near me. And like when I go on to pay the toll, like something is not working. It's like a process that like I need to figure out, and it's like not a difficult task, but like I can't like get myself to start it because I don't know how. If it was like, oh yeah, like paying my utility bills, I know how. I go on, I put in this number, like I put in this number, I get to this page, and I can do that. And now I'm like, oh, yep, I'm on time because this is the process. But if I don't have the process and I don't know the process, like it's very, very daunting to me to get started, and I'll put things off for way, way, way too long. So, if I'm in jail next time that I make a podcast, it's because I haven't paid like all of my bridge tolls. I know that's something I should do today. I should mend that sweater and do my bridge tolls. I think that I would feel like 10 times better if I did that today. Will I? No, probably not, but it's a good idea. All right, so let's go into a whip that I'm working on. So the first one that I'm working on is the Direction Loop tee by Other Loops. So this is a saddle shoulder construction t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt, and it is striped, and it has these asymmetric stripes that are super duper cool looking because, as you can see, in the top they're going in a different direction, and on the sleeves they're going in a different direction than the body, and it just ends up, I think, looking really fun. I did a bit of a lower contrast color scheme, mostly because these were the two colors that I was able to get on sale at the Brooklyn Tweed sale. So I'm knitting this in Dapple, which is a Brooklyn Tweed yarn. It is, as you can see, a 60% merino, 40% organic cotton, and this is the color macaron, and then the darker green color is called Seafoam. I really like this yarn. I had been wanting to use it for a long time, ever since I discovered the Brooklyn Tweed loft that I made this Barnsley sweater out of. I went on their website and I saw that they had this cotton blend, and I thought that would be so nice for a garment in Florida, especially a sweatshirt type garment. Would be super versatile here. So I'm very excited to try this. I was only able to secure 3 skeins of this Dapple from the sale, but it was at a price that was affordable enough that I could order, I think, 3 more skeins at full price, and it kind of made the sweater at least like a little more affordable to make in this yarn. Brooklyn Tweed makes some beautiful yarns. They have like amazing colors. It's not the most affordable, but I think it's going to be a really special sweater. I happen to be making this sweater for my friend Mary. I've made it this personal tradition to make her a sweater or something knitted every year for her birthday, which is in mid-August. So I think I have, or I'm sorry, not mid-August, mid-September. So I do have plenty of time to finish it, which is great because I'm a garbage person, and I had this in my purse and I spilled coffee on it. It's a pretty big stain. It's noticeable. I mean, you can't, like, even the stripes don't disguise it. You can see that. This is after I soaked this bad boy in OxyClean for a couple of hours. So that's literally after soaking. So I don't know if I'm gonna get the stain out. I'm gonna go to the store today and I'm gonna get some stain remover and I'm gonna see if I can get, you know, more of the stain out, and if I can, fade it even more. If I can make it less noticeable, or like, that would be great if I could get it out, then I will continue on with knitting this. If I can't get it out, then I'm gonna have to frog it, because there's no excuse. I have plenty of time. Her birthday is in, you know, a couple months, and it's short sleeve. I should be able to finish it, and I just can't. Like, I've already put in so much effort and time. It was a really interesting, cool construction. You kind of cast on the shoulders first, and you know, you knit those shoulders, and then you sort of pick up for the body, and it looks really cool. Like, you can see, I think there are like sort of raglan type increases here now for the arms. So it's just a really interesting construction to the t-shirt. So the front looks like that, and then the back has the contrasted directions of the stripes. So really interesting and cool. It did take a little bit of extra time because of those design elements. I'd never done it before, but now that I've done it, I think I'll be able to start it over if I have to, because I know what I'm doing. So yeah, kind of a bummer, because I did put in quite a lot of time, but you know, maybe that'll teach me to keep everything in a project bag and not toss my coffee in my bag, but probably not. Okay, and then one more width that we'll talk about is yet another saddle shoulder design. So this is this is a My Favorite Things knitwear. This is t-shirt. It's one of the t-shirts, you know, they number their design, so it's t-shirt number something. I'll put it up here. I have to look it up, but this is really pretty. It's got, as you can see, like the saddle shoulder's a little bit different construction though, because it's just on the shoulders, not on the yoke of the back of the sweater, like that direction loop tee. This is knit in Malabrigo Susuro in the color Polar Morn. Really beautiful. This is a blend of silk and linen and superwash merino, so it's a really beautiful silvery color. It's got a shine to it from the silk. I just love it. I'm knitting it on size 4 needles, and oh, by the way, knitting this on a size 4 too, and I think it makes a really pretty dense fabric with the DK. This Susuro is sport, and I cannot remember if the t-shirt is meant to be sport or fingering weight, but I think Susuro is a very light sport weight, so I think you can get away with using it. I can get away with using it as a fingering. I feel like it's gonna fit really well. It's an oversized t-shirt, and it's gonna have, you know, kind of sleeves that come to here. I love My Favorite Things knitwear. I think their designs are really classic. I think they're really versatile, wearable pieces, and I think it's gonna be something that's gonna be in my wardrobe for a long time. I think living here, you know, in the climate that I do, I'm gonna get a lot more wear out of a lightweight t-shirt type of knit than I am out of, you know, sadly, out of something like really cool and squishy and warm. So I've been refocusing my knitting in the last couple of months, but obviously because it's been hot, everybody has been doing warm weather knits, but specifically thinking about, you know, what am I going to actually be able to use here in Florida. And I think even in the winter, I'll be able to wear this at work. I think this will be plenty warm enough to wear, you know, even if I wear a sweater over it or something. But so I'm really excited to finish this. I'm on Body Island right now, so it's just a lot of stockinetting around. So it's a little bit tedious at this point, but I did actually appreciate the stockinetting around last night, because I left my phone in the lift on the way home from the airport, and I can't get into my Lyft account because it's linked to my email address from college, which was over 10 years ago. And obviously my phone number, like they send you a thing like a code to your phone number to get into your Lyft account, which my phone is in the back seat of the Lyft, so that's not gonna work. And anyway, long story short, I reached out to Lyft and, told them within like 15 minutes of getting dropped off, like, hey, my phone is in the Lyft, like, can you please tell the driver? And they were like, yeah, like, we reached out to the driver. They may not get back to you because they're driving such and such, but like they have the phone number to reach you at, which was my sister's cell phone number, and no one reached out. So I've contacted, you can't actually like speak to a human being at Lyft either. Sorry, I'm not gonna like take this platform to talk too much about them, but anyway, you can't actually talk to a person. So I was just sort of in like customer service hell, trying to get my phone back and trying to reach out to this driver, and like not able to even get into my account, which I still haven't gotten in my account, and it's gone. It's just gone. No one's answering me. No one cares. No one cares. The end of the story is no one cares. So my phone's gone. I need to figure that out today. Anyway, obviously I was like pretty upset about that yesterday, and I just couldn't do anything besides like watch a movie and knit stockinette in the round. So I appreciated it yesterday. I started to try to do this yesterday. This is the same yarn. This is that Susuro Polar Morn color, and I need it to finish that sweater. I'm frogging this. This was a My Favorite Things knitwear, one of their tank tops, which I was like almost finished with. I just had some double knitting to do, but it's too small, just does not fit. And it's too small because I think I knit like the size extra small or small. Like I did something dumb, and put a lot of time into it, and just whatever. So I'm frogging this to get the yarn, and it's just like taking a lot more time and effort than I thought it would to like unpick this. I think I did an Italian sewn bind off, and I had to do this step where you like make it from 2x2 rib to 1x1 rib. So like I actually did a really nice, beautiful job on this bind off, that I'm now having to unpick all of. But I can't find the end. It's like very annoying. So I'm having to like cut through each one of these and like pull it through. It was taking a long time. I was really frustrated yesterday because of my phone. So I rage quit this and just knit. I just stared into the void and knit in stockinette. So I'm back today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling better. It's gonna be fine. It's just a thing. I've got my beautiful dogs. Everyone's healthy. I made it back from vacation, a wonderful vacation with my parents in Vermont. I made it back safely. Life goes on. So yeah, feeling fine today, but that was a little traumatic. Okay, anyway, so last thing I want to talk about is something that I'm kind of excited about. I'm thinking about a little fall video series project to take you guys on a journey with me, and it is to, speaking of frogging, it is to frog this shell sweater that I made. So I made this sweater. This was the first colorwork sweater I have ever made in my life. I made it back in 2021 when I did not have any business purchasing this sweater kit. I did not have the money for it, but I got it for myself for my birthday. I got this shell sweater kit from Magpie Fibers. It is in the Swanky sock, and it's the actual yarn that she uses in the pattern. And it is so gorgeous. It's so soft. It's just the most beautiful yarn. And I spent so much time making this because I was a lot, quite a bit slower as a knitter and trying to muddle my way through following a chart. And of course I was like, the first time I do color work, I'm gonna do an literally all over color work pattern. Like why? I don't know. But I wanted the object so badly. So here it is. It's so big. Like, look at that. This is ridiculous. This is like, it's not comfortable to wear because it's so big, because the armpit is just, the armpit is at almost my belly button, y'all. Like, it's so big. So yeah, I hung on to this thinking like I had this like I don't know, like I was really precious about it. I thought, oh, it's the first one I ever made. I need to keep it as a keepsake, but then it's just languishing in my closet for years. Like, what's the point of that? So I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take some before photos of me wearing this and the sizing and everything. I even did like the waist shaping, if you can see that. And then I'm going to frog it, and I'm gonna have to look up videos on how to frog a sweater because I've never done it before. And like, if this like garbage mess has taught me anything, it's that I really need some help. So I'm gonna look up a video. I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna figure out how to, repurpose the yarn and get all, like, see if I need to get all the kinks out of it, which I'm sure I do, and rewind it. I'm gonna do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna do something crazy, and I'm gonna swatch. I've never done it before, but this is it. Like, I'm swatching, and this baby's gonna fit. So that, follow me on my journey, as I frog my first colorwork sweater and redo it, because I love this sweater. I'm making the same sweater, but yes, Izzy supports it. Izzy supports the frogging and the re-knitting. She was there for knitting of the original one. Yeah, so I think that's an exciting thing to try. I think that's going to be really cool. And my goal, and like, don't hold me to this, but my goal is to have this done by October, because I think it would be really cool to wear this at a like witchy spell themed party, which we like to do at my house in the fall. So I think if I could have it done and have it fitting really well, that would be really fun. So I'll bring you guys along, and we'll do like step by step, how to frog a sweater, how to rewind the yarn, and my swatching process. Let's just do the whole thing. Let's do it right. And yeah, I think it's gonna, and now I know a little bit how to modify. I know how I like things to fit. I know cast-ons and bind-offs that I like. I know, I know like where I like the armpit to hit in a sweater. I have a few more sweaters under my belt now, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be really good. And I know now, because this is a superwash wool, I know it's gonna stretch. So I feel like I have a little bit more of a handle on the materials and the techniques, and like, by no means am I an advanced knitter. I feel like I'm probably like, I don't know, like early intermediate, maybe at best. So, but I do think that I could make this a wearable garment that I could actually, use in my wardrobe. Whereas right now, it's just sort of languishing, sadly, in my closet. So anyway, come along with me if you feel like it, if that's your jam, if that sounds interesting to you. if you've wanted to try that, maybe this will give you the kind of inspiration to do that. But anyway, yeah, so that's sort of like, that's me right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be here, and thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try to keep these a little shorter, like this 30-minute, 20 to 30 minutes I think is a good length for a video. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. It was good to see you. I'm so glad you got to meet my babies, and I'll see you next time. Bye.